Today we're going to be learning how to print on the VKM600 with the Vanguard's program. The way you're going to go is you're going to want to find your file, cue it over from the RIP software, and it will come to a hot folder. In this hot folder you can see all your jobs. Right now we only have the Quick Copy Business Solutions logo. To start messing with the settings of this, you'll double click it, which will open up your properties menu. You have your file path saying where it's located at, and your task name. So you can rename it to what you want. I can just name it logo, so I just know it's a logo. We have a print mode over here, which lets you say how many passes you're going to be doing. You can make your own, or there's some defaults. Overall, I do everything at a 6-pass. I find the quality is really good there. If you want to go faster, you can do a 4-pass. Spot color is where you can put your white or varnish on there. Our printer has white, but you can also get this printer in varnish. For this thing, you have your multiple settings in this drop-down box. You have a no print setting, so you get no white. You have a flood, which any area in this width and height will just be white. Your valid image, which anything that has a color value would become white. Invalid image, anything with no color value becomes white. I don't know what Venus does, and RIP white is what you set in your RIP software. You have your layout setting next to it with a drop-down box, and this is how you can choose how the white or color will print. You have your standard mode, which if you're not printing white, you would be using. You can also do with white like a color white color, or a color white 2 times 2. If you don't like any on there, you can go to this more settings and make your own. Just name it what you want. Let's say color white. Click new and it'll pop it up, and I can just say the first one's white and then color, and then up here I can go to 3 and then just do color. Save that. I now just got color white. And I can just close out of that. The varnish, same thing as the white, it's just we don't have a varnish, so we don't mess with that. Right here is the crop size, which their software lets you crop the image. The way you activate this is come down to this crop box down here, click it on, and then you can choose what size you want. So I can make this logo crop into a 24:36 and say be 1 inch in by 2 inches high. It should show it on there. I don't know why it's not, but it is cropped down to that size. Another thing you can do is just click and drag where you want the crop, or you can move it around to where you really want it. You can just deactivate it by clicking crop. You now have the copy settings next to it. Activating that by the copies button down here. And then this is going to allow you to print this image multiple times in the X or Y direction. So if I said 2 in the X, it's going to take this, print to 59 inches or whatever, then add a second one right next to it. Here you can put space in between it, so say you want a 2-inch gap, that would then put a 2-inch gap next to it. Down here is your print settings, and this is where you can tell the flatbed where it goes in the media area. So you can say 1 inch by 1 inch, you can do 5 by 10, do where you need the print to go. Then you have your print count here, so you can just say I need 5 of these. This reverse Y direction is a way to change the way the head will print. Overall, the Vanguard we have will print from the front, go to the back, come up to the front, then print to the back again. This reverse Y will make it start in the back and print forward. Well, print towards the front of the Vanguard. That's what the reverse Y does. Disable spot feather. This has a feathering mechanism on it, which works really good to get rid of banding. This disable spot feather, I don't recommend selecting that because you don't want banding. You have an X and Y mirror, which just pretty much mirrors the image on the X-axis or the Y-axis. The print footnote, I actually don't really know what this does. I figure it just prints maybe like this footnote or something down there. and detect media, the Vanguard is set up to automatically detect media if you got that. And the cycle Y-axis here, if I activate that with multiple copies, it will start in the front, work to the back, start in the back, and work to the front. That way you're not wasting time by having the head coming all the way to the front or going all the way to the back before it'll start printing. Down here in this drop-down box is your speed settings. I have it set to a specific speed on this one, but if I go to a different print mode, I can then change this. You have a low speed, a normal speed, and a high speed. Overall, I print everything on normal. If I just want to go really fast, I click a high speed. Or if you just want really slow to maybe make it look a little nicer, do a low speed. I haven't really seen much difference between these, but that is there for you to know. As soon as you're done with your setup, you will then click print. It will pop up media thickness. Ours is equipped with an automatic detector, so I can just click an auto detect, which will then raise your carriage all the way to the top position so it doesn't run into the media as it's moving, and move to a set destination to measure how thick the media is. As soon as it detects, you will then go back into your media thickness box here and not have that automatic, and you can then start your print. Some things I've noticed is if you have a smaller piece of material you're working with, sometimes that auto detect doesn't actually hit where that media is. So you might have to do a manual detect, which will open up this thing. Do you want to move the carriage to the top position? Yes, since you don't want it to hit the media. And then now here's the input media position. This is all in millimeters, which is kind of annoying at times, but it works. So then you can type in what you want. Let's say you think it's about 50 millimeters on the x-axis and 25 on the y-axis. When you click move to media position, your head will move there. And then you can click OK, which will then go back into the whole measuring it. If you don't have the automatic detector, you can manually stick in your media thickness in millimeters. I just know the techs at Vanguard don't really recommend that because the automatic detector is more accurate. As soon as you get your media thickness, you can then click Start Print, which will then start printing the job.